Next, we're going to look at document D. And according to our front page, document D is property law. So at the top, write property law. And we've got 4 laws to read, and we're going to determine whether or not these laws are fair. Now again, the source is a primary source, and it comes off that stone stele that was written 1754 years before Christ. Okay, let's start with Law 21. If a man has broken through the wall, to rob a house, they shall put him to death and pierce him. That means run him through with something. Or hang him in the hole in the wall which he has made. And that's pretty simple. If a man has robbed a house, they're going to put him to death. That's execution. However they do it. They're either going to hang him in the hole that he's made, or they're going to put a big old hole in him, okay, because he put a hole in the wall. So is that fair? Does that send a strong message to society? Sure does. Is it a little too harsh for the thief? I don't know. I guess Hammurabi took thieving, robbery pretty serious. Let's take a look at 23. If the robber is not caught, the man who has been robbed shall formally declare whatever he has lost before God, and the city and the mayor in whose territory or district the robbery has been committed shall replace for him whatever he has lost. Now this business right here, declare whatever he has lost before a God. That means he sort of swears to God. Swears to God that he was robbed. Right? And the city and the mayor in whose territory or district the robbery has been committed shall replace whatever he has lost. So if they don't catch the robber, they have to replace. Now that's going to come out of their surplus. That's going to come out of the city's surplus. If it's food, I don't know if he loses his gold, if he loses his property, I don't know, but whatever it is, the community is going to come together and give him back whatever it is he's been stolen as much as they can. Is that fair? Well, is it fair to the victim? Well, obviously it is. He gets everything back. Is it fair to the rest of the community? Well, again, what kind of message is Hammurabi trying to send? What's he trying to tell the community by these kinds of laws? Let's look at Law 48. If a man has borrowed money to plant his fields, that means he's borrowed money to buy seeds, okay? He's borrowed money to plant his fields, and a storm has flooded his field or carried away the crop. In that year, the year that this happened, in that year he does not have to pay his creditor. Now, a creditor is the one he owes the money to, or the man who loaned him the money. The man who loaned the money. That's what a creditor is. The man who loaned the money. So, he's off the hook for that year. Is that fair? Law 53 and 54 together. If a man has opened his trench for irrigation, and the waters have flooded his neighbor's field, the man must restore the crop he has caused to be lost. And that's pretty easy to understand. I open up my irrigation trenches and I mess something up and I accidentally flood my neighbor's field and I ruined his crop, I have to pay him for his ruined crop. Fair or not? Okay. Let's take a look at document E. We'll go on our last page, document E. And document E is personal injury law. So at the top, write personal injury law. Okay, let's start with 196. Here's the famous eye for an eye law. If a man has knocked out the eye of a free man, his eye shall be knocked out. Is that fair? $199. If he has knocked out the eye of a slave, he shall pay half his value. That's half the slave's value. Okay, half the slave's value. He pays that to the owner of the slave. Half the slave's value. So if your slave is worth 50 shekels of silver, then you owe the slave's owner 25 shekels of silver if you knock out his eye. Don't ask me how they knocked out eyes, because I don't know. Law 209. If a man strikes the daughter, that means hits, okay? Strikes means hits. Okay, if a man hits the daughter of a free man and causes her to lose the fruit of her womb, a fruit of your womb means the unborn child. Unborn baby, that's the fruit of the womb. He shall pay 10 shekels of silver to probably the free man, okay, not to the daughter, but to the free man. All right, or to the daughter's husband, I don't know, whatever. He owes somebody 10 shekels of silver for causing this woman to lose her baby. Okay? Is that fair? Lastly, 22:13. If a man has struck the slave girl of a free man, not the daughter, but the slave girl of a free man, and causes her to lose the fruit of her womb, he shall pay 2 shekels of silver. Is it fair to have different punishments for the same crime based on who it was you commit the crime against? Obviously, Hammurabi thought that some people were more important than others. Okay? You just think about it. We're not going to make any decisions yet. Let's go to Law 215. If a surgeon, that's a doctor, has operated with a bronze lancet, so I guess that's like the little bronze knife, all right? So we'll put here, instead of lancet, we'll put knife. Or scalpel. You know what a scalpel is, right? Knife, S-C-A-P-E-L, scalpel. If he has operated with a bronze knife on the body of a free man and saves the man's life, he shall receive 10 shekels of silver. Okay? Now if you look up here, when a free man's daughter lost her baby, they had to pay 10 shekels of silver. Now, when a doctor saves a free man's life, he gets 10 shekels of silver. So apparently, a free man, or free baby of a free man, was worth 10 shekels of silver. 218. If a surgeon has operated with a bronze lancet on a free man for a serious injury and has caused his death, his hands shall be cut off. His hands shall be cut off. Is that fair? That sounds pretty harsh, but what kind of message is Hammurabi trying to send to anybody who wants to be a doctor? Okay? Now, So if you look through here now, we've got a bunch of laws to read through and to think about. Are these laws fair or not? What I want you to do is, with a partner or two, I want you to go back through these three sets of laws. Family law on document C, property law on document D, personal injury law on document E, and I want you to take your graphic organizer. And you're going to pick at least, okay, 8 to 10 laws to talk about. I'm going to do one with you. Let's say, for example, I want to do law number 23. Where's 20? There's 23 right there. If a robber is not caught, the man who's been robbed shall formally declare whatever he's lost before God and the city, and the mayor in whose territory or district robbery has been committed shall replace for him whatever he's lost. Okay? Now, I think that's fair. So, I'm going to take law 23 and I'm going to put number 23 right here. Law 23. Now, because it's property law, I'm going to put a PL underneath. Property law. Now, I want to summarize that law real quick. So I'm going to summarize it like this. The mayor and the city, no, the mayor and the people of the city. Now you're going to have to write really nice and tight in these boxes if you're going to fit anything in here. Help replace what has been stolen. Now, you're not going to try to copy the entire law into this box, and you're going to have to go back and look at this law later so you can remind yourself exactly what it says. But just give yourself enough here so you can remember that number 23 was about how when a guy gets robbed and they never catch the thief, the mayor and the people of the city help replace for him what was ever taken. Now, I think that's fair, so I'm going to put a yes right here. I want you to explain why it's fair. I think it's fair because it sends a strong message to society. Let's do this. To the community about being on the lookout. Remember, if somebody knew who the thief was, they wouldn't have to be helping this guy out. Being on the lookout for thieves. And I think it's I before E except after C, so I'm going to erase that and spell this correctly. For thieves. That's why I think it's fair. They didn't catch him, so it's not too harsh. Okay? Now what I want you to do is to pick 7 or 8 more laws, one at a time. Just go through, write down the law number, put a little PI, PL, or F for family law, property injury law, or property law or personal injury law. Mine's personal. Mine's PL, property law. Mine's property law. Was it fair or not? And then explain why you think that. Now you have to have these, otherwise you're not going to be able to have an opinion. You need to be able to support your opinion about whether Hammurabi's code was generally fair or not. Okay? Let's get to work on that.